Hello beautiful people, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, welcome. In today's episode we will be drafting and sewing this winged collar dress. It is a very cheeky corporate simple dress. It is beginner friendly. It is very easy to get. If you would like to learn how to do this, please continue to watch. Thank you. Okay, so now you're going to fold your pattern paper into two. You have the crease part looking towards your side and then the open part, and now I'm just marking out my guidelines. So now note, you're not going to start your shoulder line from the top. You're going to leave about 6 to 7 inches above. That's where you're going to start your shoulder line, because you're going to be needing that line and that space rather. So now I am marking out all of my vertical measurements, taking notes of all the round measurements in place, and now I am just drafting out my armhole. I went in by 0.75 inches as usual to carve out the front depth inner part of the armhole line. And now I'm just going to mark out my dart leg. In this case, I'm only using the waist dart. I am not using the bust dart because it's really a simple dress, right? And now on the shoulder line, I'm going to mark out my neck width, and I would go up to that space that I left while beginning the drafting process, and I'm going to slant it upwards a bit more. So that line there is about 7 inches, I think. And I also took my shoulder slope. Please take note that that shoulder slope, you would consider it in your armhole depth while taking your measurements. And now I have just taken all of my round measurements, and I'm just transferring the same measurements that I have on the bust line to the chest line. So now on that shoulder slope, you are going to take half an inch upwards, because that's going to be your allowance for joining your shoulder, and you are going to cut. So now determine where you want as your right or left, where you want the winged collar to fall onto. Now I have decided, and I'm drawing a diagonal line to that part, and at that pointed part you are going to go down from the original shoulder line that you have by the length that you want, how deep you want your opening to be. Now I have connected that, and I'm going to be slashing that part open. So now cut out the winged that you have taken along that side, and then slash open, but not too much to the end. And voila, you see the effect of the wing collar that we are trying to achieve. When you close your dart on your fabric, this is what you're going to have. So I went ahead to place my pattern on my fabric, and I made sure that I added about just a bit of an allowance to all the winged parts, because when you are joining, you are going to be joining very shortly, because you don't want to have bulge of fabric around that area, right? So now I am just cutting it out. Please take note, on all my measurements I have put in place in consideration all my allowances, and this part is going to be attached to a lower part of a dress, so take note of that as well. So now for this winged part, ensure that you do not slash up to the end, because while sewing you will need that side to cover up a bit more. Now see, I have cut out a lining like an interface as well. I went ahead to cut the back part of this dress, and then the skirt part of the dress, because it's going to be joined together. Now let's sew. In this sewing part, you see I'm joining the facing of the back bodice, and I'm going to turn it out before joining to my main bodice. Give it a nudge and press on top a bit more. Right here I am putting my interfacing. This is a paper stay, something that would add more stability and a bit of thickness to your fabric, and this is what I have done here. Now I've gone ahead to give all my patterns a good press, and this is what you can see. Now I'm going to join the lining, the interfacing of the front pattern. Please take note that the half inch allowance that we give that shoulder part that side, you're going to notch it out because you will need that part to join the back bodies of your dress. So now you want to pin down some part of your block because you don't want to miss out on any line now that we have even slashed this place open. So now we are going to join from where we just notched, and we'll join all the way round the winged part and stop at the other shoulder line. Please take note, join with as little allowance as possible because you don't want any bulkiness around that area by the time you are done sewing. So keep joining, keep sewing, and keep turning it little by little. Ensure you do not sew up to the point where you measured out. I mean, you do not cut rather, because that side is going to be very, very thin and it might make your slash a bit longer. So now that I didn't sew up to that point, you see I didn't cut up to that point, now I can slash it open a bit more, and that's it, without extending my line. So now I'm going to turn it over, give it a good press. Ensure you cut off any pointy edges because at that part it would form a kind of bulkiness, and you do not want that at all. Now you can see the effect of the wing that we have cut out, and you can see the allowance on the shoulder. On the back pattern of this dress, I'm just going to go ahead and sew in my dart. Take note, the bulkiness that we experience at the zipper area at the back, I have already eliminated that as well while sewing. So now I'm taking my dart on the front block as well, and now I am going to be joining the shoulders of the front block and the back block. You see, just ensure you dip in the back pattern, the front pattern in the back pattern, and then turn it all the way around. Yes, you can see as well the front pattern. I'm using it to turn in the back pattern so that I can knit both of them together. So that way I know that my shoulder is in place. At this point, if you have not subscribed to this channel, please do so because there will be more tutorials coming up and I wouldn't want you to miss out on any. Thank you as you do that. Now let's go ahead. At this point, you just want to give it a good press. Ensure all your sewing is neatly pressed. Press as you go. Please subscribe and like this channel. Thank you so much. At this point, our dress is almost ready, as you can see. And now I have gone ahead to join the back bodies and the front bodies of the lower part together off camera. And now I'm just going to join my zipper. I like to do the zip before I join the bodies together. And I've searched all of the opened places that might be removing thread or wool on the fabric. So now I've gone ahead to do all of that off camera just so we save time, and now I'm just going to align the dress together. Can you see the fit that is coming on? Now I have joined my zipper and the dress is going to be taking its form. I've also done a bit of measurements taken just so that all my measurements are in place and I'm not short of fabric in any way. And this is the end result, as you can see and as you've seen on my body. Please do like, subscribe, share, comment, all the good stuff on this channel.